Well, in fact, the announcement said at least 10% of the shares we plan to float on the ADX market. We might go a little higher. That will all depend on how we progress with the market over the next few weeks.
Is there a particular valuation that you're targeting?
Not really. What we want to do here is to demonstrate a very unique ability in floating the first of its kind IPO in the region. And what we're trying to achieve here are numbers that will show an unprecedented commitment from the international market as well as other local and domestic investors to work alongside ADNOC in one of its very important subsidiary companies.
Well, on that note, there are of course rumors that you might look to float other businesses. What else might be in the pipeline?
We are looking for ways to help maximize value to our shareholders while keeping ADNOC wholly owned by the Abu Dhabi government as a holding company. Having said that, we will be looking and exploring across the whole value chain with the main focus being on services companies.
Now, you keep rolling out a listing at the holding company level. You just did it then, you did it earlier today during your speech. Why is that? Because of course you have a neighbor just across the border that is listing at the holding company level.
It's simply because we have had some incidents in the past where people thought that we were in any way insinuating that ADNOC would be floated in the market, which is absolutely incorrect. What we are considering or exploring are subsidiaries that are wholly owned by ADNOC today.
And could you potentially get some strategic investors in as sort of cornerstones for the listing of the distribution business?
Absolutely. We always look for strategic partners, those who will bring value, those who will bring access to market, and those who will help us grow in a smart way.
The other thing I want to ask about is, of course, the partnership process. How are those discussions with potential partners going, and who would be your ideal partner?
Again, the criteria is very simple. ADNOC has a very rich, sound track record as far as its ability to attract strategic partners. And here we will apply the same methodology. We look for partners that share the same values, that have the same vision, who are actually looking at this market in a very positive manner, and that will bring value and access to technology and access to market, and will also help us grow in a smarter way, as well as provide a platform to upskill our human capital.
Would that include some major oil producers, for instance?
We can't rule anybody out at this point in time.
All right. Now, since you've come to ADNOC, you've announced a huge transformation of the business. Walk us through your strategic vision for the company. In 10, 15 years' time, what is it going to look like?
ADNOC has to be the #1, most agile, very flexible, modern national oil company. Meaning, we know that we don't have control over the price of oil, yet we know for a fact that we can control our own cost per barrel we produce. So our main focus has been very much centered around efficiency and the optimization of our operations and activities across the whole value chain. So, and here with technology being advanced at this very speed, with this very high speed, we have to adapt to the changes and to the dynamics of the market, while we also be wary of the advancements in technology and see how can we integrate the most advanced technologies in a way that will help us be more efficient and more profitable across the whole value chain of our business.
Now, part of the transformation included doing a review of the entire business, upstream and downstream. What did you learn from that review?
We learned that ADNOC has a rich track record. ADNOC is a reliable partner, is a reliable supplier. ADNOC has been able to attract the best partners from all over the world, and that must continue. It's just the way we engage, and as such, we launched our strategic partnership model, whereby we expanded our scope, catering for all kinds of partners, let it be upstream investors, midstream investors, or downstream investors, with real focus on the downstream opportunities. As you know, we are expanding our refining capacity. We are adding another 60% at least to our current refining capacity, and we are tripling our petrochemicals capacity. In order for us to do this in a very smart way, we need to also be open as far as our financing mechanisms are concerned. We cannot continue depending on our own balance sheet or cash flow from our own operations. We have to be smarter on how we better manage our cash, and as such, we are engaging with international investors as well as with sound, robust financiers from all over the world.
Right, now you mentioned the financing. You did, of course, just sell your first bond. That's a huge departure for ADNOC. Is that a tough sell to the domestic Emirati population? Do they understand why you're tapping the bond market?
In fact, this was a great signal that had a very positive ripple effect on the domestic market. It really demonstrated a unique capability in ADNOC and to what extent ADNOC is actually going to go as far as its transformation is concerned. So it had a very positive impact in the market, locally and internationally.
I heard demand was very, very high.
Very high, very high, absolutely. It was almost 4 times the subscriptions required.
And you also have a bid out or a tender for a loan. Is that close to closing at some point?
That is in fact very close to closing, that's true.
Okay. What's your optimum sense of the capital structure of ADNOC? Where do you want to go with it?
We want to be a very sound, financially robust organization that manages its cash and cost of money in a very smart way. ADNOC is going to grow, and is going to grow in adopting a fast-track approach with international partners. So we have to adopt a model that will allow for international investors as well as financing mechanisms that will allow for us to increase and enhance our value and free up cash to fund our sustainable growth of our organization.
So cash to fund your growth, does that mean more investment? And if so, what kind of investment? What areas are you looking at?
ADNOC will soon be announcing its more details about its capital expenditure program for the next 5 years. And that will clearly show where ADNOC is going. ADNOC finds the industry to be very strong. We have a very positive perception of the future of the industry. And as such, ADNOC will be investing in the upstream, in the midstream, and in the downstream.
And in terms of the future of the industry, you've said before that you're looking to the east in particular as an area of potential growth. Is that the case, and how big are you going to go in terms of Asia?
As far as Asia is concerned, we find it to be a promising market. It is a market that have clearly shown tangible growth. And as such, we would like to continue our supplies to keep flowing to Asia, with also a new consideration whereby we might be considering our own investments in the downstream business in Asia, meaning more refining capacity or more petrochemicals.
Now, everyone I've asked about you always says one thing, which is that you are a target-oriented person. When you look at the transformation of ADNOC, what specific targets are you looking at? How will you know that the transformation has been a success?
We have set our own targets. To some, it might sound ambitious. We know with our determination and with the support we have from our leadership that those targets will be definitely achieved.
Such as? Give us an idea of it.
I can't specify our own targets.
What about the 70% oil recovery rate from new projects? Is that still a goal?
That or 30% and the reduction of our drilling cost or drilling time. Again, these are targets that are public information. But in terms of our real KPIs as far as our transformation is concerned, I find this to be more of a confidential internal numbers.
Okay. How important is the transformation of ADNOC to the wider Abu Dhabi economy? Because of course Abu Dhabi is attempting to change in response to this era of low oil prices.
What I can comfortably tell you is that ADNOC continues to be an integral part of our overall economy. And the fact that ADNOC is undertaking such a positive, holistic approach to its transformation has in fact made a very positive ripple effect on the overall economy.
You know, you come from Masdar to ADNOC. Is green energy part of the story at ADNOC as well?
Well, I think it's worth noting that I actually started my whole career in ADNOC. And then I moved to Masdar to help establish our renewable energy arm for the Abu Dhabi government. And that was a phenomenal experience. In our view, renewables today does not in any way act as a threat. In fact, it is a natural step for Abu Dhabi as a major oil producing nation to pursue such new technologies and such.
And lots of other oil majors are doing the same thing.
Absolutely. But I remember at the time when Masdar was launched, this used to be a paradigm shift, used to be seen as a paradigm shift for a major oil producing nation to proactively seek a key role in the renewable energy space.
And now at ADNOC, could green energy be part of the story there as well?
In fact, ADNOC must stay focused on oil and gas and hydrocarbons industry, while Masdar, as a sister company wholly owned by Abu Dhabi government, can continue its pursuit in the advancement of renewable energy.
I'm still trying to get a handle on your vision of ADNOC in the future. When you look at the existing landscape of the energy world, is there a particular company that you say, I would like to be like that one?
What I can comfortably tell you is that it's going to be an integration of a number of the IOCs we see today.
Right.
I don't want to name or be specific of which ones, but it's going to be an integrated model of what some of the companies are operating like today.